Good morning, everybody. It's Chris from Serene Education with the 4 Majors Nuts update for the 17th of September 2013. Morning, guys. Hope you had a fantastic trading day yesterday. Let's have a look and see what's on the cards for today, this fine Tuesday morning. Looking at the euro against US dollar first on our FX8 Ultimate template, and you'll clearly see straight away the first thing that hits you is this indicator box, looking pretty much positive at the moment now. One or two areas of negativity, however, the indicator box pretty much smacks of positiveness, and we have seen that. However, the one issue we have at the moment now, and it is still a major issue, is this resistance level. Clearly see here, if you want to take a round number or the MT4 high here at 1330.86.5, you can quite clearly see through June we had a resistance level, start of August another resistance level, a tweezer top through the mid-August period, a failure through the latter part of August, and we are now reattempting, and we had a failure yet again yesterday after an indecision candle on the prior night. So this is clearly a resistance level. Yes, euro US dollar wants to head higher and maintains to be positive above needs to be positive against the US dollar. Excuse me, I'm trying to spit that out. However, we still have a genuine resistance level above price, and in order for euro to continue to be positive for the foreseeable future, we do need to see this resistance level being breached as soon as possible. The longer we find resistance here, the more likelihood is we're going to see prices starting to wane and to start looking for the negative side or for pullbacks. So you can quite clearly see the RMO has been above the zero line for some time, and the MACD is also there complementing her. So we do need to see price really getting above this level. We have a lot of news out today, and we have a lot of news coming out for the remainder of this week. Tomorrow in particular, we have the FOMC state meeting. So there's a lot of news that's likely to occur or to factor into price. But as long as we see this resistance level continuing, the more likelihood is price is going to wane. So you can see that overall positiveness, got to get above this hurdle here. So we drop down to our 4-hour time frame. Let's have a look and see what's happening on this time frame. A lot of indecision. Well, we saw the decision yesterday, and the 4-hour candles, the last 20 hours or so, we've seen a pullback. However, a lot of indecision over the last 8 hours in particular, and you can see where price is now taking a bit of a breather. If you really want to see what the likely return is intraday, you can do one or two things. You can go back to your daily again, and we can draw a fib level. So on the daily we get a buy signal, all nice and clear on the daily. However, the resistance level there. What we can do is take the current low that we've seen here at 1277.42 to this high that we've seen, because this is a nice trend up, and then we've seen the pullback. We can see quite clearly that price is maintaining over 23.6, and that just goes to show that there's more positiveness. If price continues to fail at this level, then the 23.6 could be or would be a genuine target to the downside. So intraday target would be to the 23.6. So if I move back to the 4-hour time frame, move it over, that would constitute a nice area of profit or target taking back towards our institutional moving average. There's a slight pause in between all of this, which is this level over here, and if that serves me right, you can see quite clearly now prior resistance becoming new support. So yesterday's the resistance level we saw on the 11th of September is now likely to be today's support, which is good, because if it's making higher swings, that means it's still in a positive trend. Okay, swing high, swing high, swing high, swing high, swing high, and you can see if I just draw an intermediate trend just in the intraday, you can quite clearly see where this trend line intersects. And let's see if this intraday support area over here at the 33.27 mark actually supports price, and we get a reattempt of the current highs. The resistance highs we've seen recently up to the levels of good, healthy, a very short, abrupt 32 pips. But ideally, I'd like to see this major area over here being breached. This is the major resistance level. Get above that, then it seems to be a more cleaner air. So I'd like to see a nice 4-hour candle close above that area to really give me an indication that price is looking still favorable to the upside. This is still a major resistance level, guys. We do need to get above it. We've had 4 failures at this level on the daily. I don't want to be speculating and trying to trade into that or trying to trade away. I want to see a clear, ideally a nice daily candle close higher than that. But if the 4-hour, etc., gets above that, then it remains to be seen that it shows me that the positiveness is pretty much there. The indicator box is telling me that we just need to get above this hurdle. Moving on to sterling. Okay, yeah, nice strong trend to the upside, like its European counterpart. Swing high, swing high, swing high. Not once have we seen a swing low, and we had a pullback here, but that pullback was well above the institution moving average on our daily, which is good, a good sign. trading above the institution for the second time this year, and subsequently this time really moving higher. We had a failure here. Things just didn't stack up, and price reverted to the downside. Here on the breakout, everything did stack up, and we got some positive movement to the upside. Now moving higher. The past couple of days coming unstuck as we head into the 78.6 now, well overbought on this particular indication. You can see quite clearly here, like its European counterpart, very much positive. RMO above, MACD above, everything over here is looking good. One or two areas where the R squared is not really complementing price. But our RMO, which is a trend relating indicator, and our MA down here, which is plotting the institution moving average, are in order. So I know I'm in a positive uptrend. Okay, and the R squared is complementing that, so I know it's positive, genuine uptrend. Okay, so now I'm moving above the 61.8, but you can see consolidative over here. So in order for this particular pair to keep moving higher, and I've just panned out and you can see where we are, we've broken a prior high that we saw here in May of this year, and now we're moving higher. And you can see that price is heading into this price support and resistance level. If I just zoom out some more, you can quite clearly see. We're going into this consolidative range of around here, and the 78.6 isn't that far off as we speak. So if I just move back in again, so we've got to take notice of that. If we see further upside movement, we've got to be very aware that we have got the 78.6, which is not too far away from where price is trading now. 89 pips, but you'll notice there's a major slowdown now. Price is not as bullish as it was initially when we saw the breakout here. You can see the slowdown as people know that their targets, the ultimate targets, way up. It's not too far away from where we are now. So you're seeing a bit of consolidation. And you can see that the MA's, the MACD indicator over here turning dark green. Positive moving, but dark green nonetheless. And the RMO is starting to flatten out. So we've got to be well aware of that. So if you're taking any profits or you're looking to take any trades, you've got to be very aggressive with the entries and stops. Look to see if there's any news out today that could actually factor in price moving higher. We have CPI year-on-year figures. So we've got the inflation report, PPI input month-on-month figures, and we have the RPI year-on-year figures. So we got some news out this morning from 9:30 GMT this morning. So something to be wary of. Look to see if that actually helps. Then we go into the European news. We've got the current account coming at 9 a.m. this morning. The first piece of news for Euro. Then we have the German economic sentiment figures. And then we have the Euro economic sentiment figures. And this afternoon we have a lot of news out for the US market. That the core CPI month-on-month figures, we have those are the manufacturer, that's what we had. And we got a lot of other things, CPI month-on-month, the long-term purchasing, the figures for the US market. So there's a lot of news out today, and that could actually figure or factor in price itself. So here again, looking for buying opportunities in today. However, being well aware of the resistance level here. So if you're looking for upside, you can see quite clearly now the MACD is being below on two accounts. The RMO is still well above the zero line. So the trend is nice and strong. And you can see just recently the trend getting very, very strong indeed. Moving higher, particularly through this part over here. So, and you can see that we have a consolidation over here in the last 4 hours, the last 8 hours particularly. So nice, we've got two indecision candles. We want to see a decisive candle. And this decisive candle, if it's still positive, needs to be bullish engulfing. Okay, we have a red arrow telling us heads up. We had a red arrow here, but we had a nice bounce and support on the 61.8. Here we've got the 78.6 just above price, but we're going to see a consolidative range here, so we can start targeting the upside for the short term. US dollar Swiss franc daily, here again, like its European counterpart, we have the total opposite. We have a red box and the R squared is blue. So I know that the selling indicator, or the selling indication on here, is primarily genuine, because the R squared is telling us it's genuine sentiment, and the indicator box, if it's red or blue, will tell us if it's positive or negative sentiment. So now we're seeing a lot of price falling over the past couple of days after this tweezer top at a resistance level in the shape of the 50 period moving average as well as the institutional on our daily. We've seen price falling lower into the weekly fib at the 23.6 level here. Now we're seeing price consolidate around here, but you can see the RMO is below, the MACD is below. All my moving averages above price acting as resistance. Now if I go down to my 4-hour time frame and just move it over, you can see that we are seeing swing lows, healthy swing lows. This is the current high, swing low, swing low, swing low, swing low. We have a potential for a swing low here as price has found resistance now on 4, 8, 12, 16. We have a lot of resistance here over the past 20 hours. In fact, under the institution moving average, which is a negative signal. So we do need to see a bearish engulfing candle, and we are trading at the weekly. So guys, price has been moving, fluctuating between these 2 points, we want to see a more decisive. We're either going to see a bullish engulfing candle break above the institution, which tells us we should be looking for buying opportunities near term. So we could target the prior swing, which would be here in the second one, and then back up towards our monthly. Or we want to see a nice bullish engulfing close lower than the weekly, but below this consolidation support level here, and then we could target the all-time lows we had recently down here at the 91.75 and change mark. So we do need to see a decision whether it maintains positive above the weekly or gets below that weekly, and look at the negative sentiment. At the moment now, there is more negativity indication on my charts, on my indicator box, so therefore I should be looking for that negativity intraday. So be patient, wait for a nice close. We've got another 52 minutes on the 4-hour candle to close. If it maintains above the weekly here, then there's more likely for price to start looking positive upside, but it's still below the institution. If it gets below the weekly, then it's telling you this is genuinely a resistance level here, because it's engulfing this last 24 hours of trading, and then we should be looking for lower lows. US dollar Japanese yen, the last pair of the day. Here again, notice the highs are getting lower. So now we're going into a squeeze pattern. The overall sentiment long term on the monthly, you can quite clearly see, is very, very bullish. And if I zoom out, you'll see how bullish this pair has been since August of last year. However, heading into these monthly fibs here, primarily around the 50%, we've seen price waning, finding it difficult to find further sentiment to the upside. And on 2 prior pullbacks, we saw the institution moving average coming in and saving the day. However, not making it higher highs, which tells us that price is still looking negative near term. The US dollar, and we had a tweezer top at the top here of this consolidative range at the 50% monthly fib, which is this blue line, which also complemented my 61.8 on the daily fib. We've seen a tweezer top, and price subsequently over the past couple of days has fallen back down to our 50% line, which is our daily fib. Now bounce, we had a nice little pullback here, profit taking, and you can see the indicator box pretty much all over the place. No clear direction, and primarily because price is trading within this consolidative range. So we want to see a clear direction. As long as it maintains below the monthly fib, then we should always look to target back towards the institution. If it gets above the monthly fib, target back up to the prior highs and back up to our all-time high that we saw back in May of this year. So we go down to our 4-hour. You can see the dailies was showing a lot of indecision candles. 4-hour, you can see quite clearly we had a bit of upside over the past 20 hours or so, but price is now trading into a price support and resistance level, consolidation level here at 99.226. So we do need to get above that in order to see price reattempting the current monthly fib. If we don't see that and price falls lower again, a bearish engulfing on our 4-hour, then we should be targeting back towards our daily, and then back towards the institution, and then back towards our weekly. As you can quite clearly see, prior high, swing, look where the trend line is intersecting now. So we have a price support and resistance level, consolidation area, we have the trend line indicator, crossover. So the next 4 hours is going to be very, very important to tell us where that sentiment lies. So be patient, wait for that candle to come out. If it comes out indecisive, wait for the next 4 hour. You can't trade an indecision candle, you've got to trade a decisive candle. Decisive break higher, trade higher. Decisive break lower, trade lower. Okay guys, keeping it short and sweet. That's it today. If you are interested in this particular template or any of the Serene Education templates, please drop us an email at info@sereneeducation.com for more information. There will be an email at the end of this video announcement if you forget it. Back it up with sound money management rules, guys. Very, very important. You might have the best strategy template in the world, but if you don't follow sound money management rules, it's worth nothing. I'm going to leave you with that. Have a fantastic trading day, and I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning. Until then, trade serenely.